fantasy.
Let's go.
Alright.
Tweeze.
Just like that.
Fire it up.
Sort.
On it.
Close.
Indeed. Wow. You chose well.
Spin it.
Yes. Strike fast.
Defeat.
Lightning. Go time. Yeah. Accelerating. Yeah.
Trap. Dodge.
Game time.
High five.
Love it. Beep beep.
Water.
Cool.
I'm honored.
How many?
Exciting.
Steal back.
How about that?
Action. Ready as ever.
Seek shelter.
My turn.
Catch 4.
Ooh.
Womp womp.
Stick together.
Bring it on.
Protect. Unlock. Save.
Needed that.
Catch 4. Defeat.
You bet.
Protect. Unlock. Save all.
Booyah! Wasn't expect. Break it in.
Leave it to me. Prepare yourself.
Protect. Spin it.
Simple.
Save.
Sweet. Look at me.
Okay.
Escape.
Smooth.
So ready.
Sort.
It's me.
High five.
For science.
Trap 2.
That's it.
I'm ready.
Switch.
Womp womp.
Count the hearts.
Logical. Fired up.
Dodge.
That's my jam.
It is on.
Water.
Lightly.
I accept. Prepare yourself.
Launch.
Excellent.
Game time.
Stick together.
Womp womp.
Defeat.
Womp womp.
Time to focus.
Protect. Unlock. Save all. Spin it.
Guess nothing.
I'm right here. Sort. Works for me. Close.
Womp womp.
Tweeze.
Womp womp.